trip up to Foxborough was all the Union needed to get back in the win column. We break down the Union's first win in over a month as they continue their impressive start on the road. Plus, we look at what lies ahead for the Union as the boys in blue head down south for yet another road match. All that and more as Union Insider starts right now.
Takes the strike on, and it's off the inside of the post. Just for the Argentine. Oh, brilliant! Martinez fires.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of Union Insider presented by Independence Blue Cross. I'm Marisa. As always, I'm joined by everyone's favorite former Union players, Sebastian Latou and Sheanon Williams. No particular order there, guys. The Union entered last Saturday's match winless in their last four, three of which were played at home. And usually heading onto a road trip during a slump isn't exactly ideal, but for the Union, it was really just what they needed. Here's how the Union were able to walk away with 3 points in New England.
Okay, guys, look, a new challenge tonight, okay? We recognize that the game needs intensity from the start, right? The first 15 minutes, like always on the road, we have to navigate the wet turf, right? Good contact on all our clearances, dealing with the elements at the start of the game. 6 games in the league so far, we're unbeaten on the road. Let's remember why that is the case. This group is at their best when we're enjoying ourselves on the field. When we're playing with a smile, when we're playing with confidence. If somebody makes a mistake, we help them up and we cover his. All right, for 90 minutes now, let's stick together. Good moments, bad moments, 90 minutes together. We're the only people that can get us out of a hard moment, right? All of us together. Let's go. Come on, here we go.
You can call it familiar territory on the road. Here in New England, the Union ended last year playing their foe 3 straight times. Now they have to go out and execute like the club that has consistently been one of the best in recent seasons.
Hey, I can talk all day, but talk is cheap, all right? We must go out there today and prove it. We got a good team. We need to get back to basics. Today, our first goal should be to keep a shutout, all right? We stay strong defensively, we match our intensity, and we convert our chances, and we win this game. New England will start with possession as we're underway.
Back to Bedoya. Bedoya with the shot, save to his left for Ivicic. Bedoya inside the 18 from his left foot. It was a weak shot.
That's a bad giveaway. It's now a foot race with Uwa. Uwa goes down. Ryan Spalding is going to be sent off.
The Reds are playing down a man on that red card. 15-yard possession for Bigland. Plays it across, and the header is good for Carranza! Carranza's got it again! He scores in back-to-back games! And the Union score first here in Foxborough!
It is Philadelphia who have the lead at the break by a goal to nil.
So now we have a real opportunity. A real opportunity. And we have to be ruthless. Much more ruthless than that 35 minutes. Second half, let's start it the right way. I talked about having a killer instinct. Little cleaner with our execution and we can play these guys off the field.
No changes for either side to start half number 2.
Heel there into Nathan Harriel. His ball is off the woodwork and still a chance here for Daniel Gazdag. There's 2. On the second time of asking, Daniel Gazdag gets his team leading 8th of the season, and Philadelphia fully in control now. 2-0 up away from home.
Plays it forward to Bedoya, chance to cross. He rolls it forward, back heel inside for Uwa, stopped by Ivicic.
Sullivan on the break, running here at Arriaga. Quinn Sullivan going for goal, and Ivicic forced to get down to his left.
Poe pokes it forward to Sullivan. Sullivan with the shot, saved by Ivicic. Rebound over to Danny. Danny scores again! There's 2 tonight! Gazdag delivers! What can Danny do? It's a 3-spot for the Union!
Boateng's last delivery of the game is a chance here for Arriaga, and Arriaga denied on the line. Oliver Zembla, a spectacular save.
And there's the full-time whistle. The Union get the clean sheet, the first clean sheet in MLS from Oliver Zembla.
Philadelphia Union snap their 6-match winless run.
They'll take the big win, get back to Chester, and get ready for the matchup at Charlotte next week.
So a 3-0 win up in New England for the Union, and that's huge because the Union are now the only team in the league that has yet to lose a game on the road. What makes them so good in opposing situations?
I mean, for this game especially, I think it was very important to have a reaction, from the team, even if he was away. The red card, I think, from New England helped, the team get the 3 points. But you can see that they have maybe more defensive, mindset, when they attack those games away, and it makes them, I think, a little bit more concentrated, doing less mistakes, which I know it costed a lot of goal at the beginning of the season for the team. But when you lose, at home, you need to get back on track, away and get some points, and that's what they did. So. Maybe they're going to be the away team, this season, and be undefeated. They are still the only team, right now. But when you play against New England, we are the last team in the standing, you need to get the 3 points, and it's what they did. So now the confidence come back a little bit more in the team, and they can go to Charlotte and try maybe to do the same thing.
Right, you were on the call, Sheanon. What did you see out of that game?
They looked to start the game defensively, obviously with the red card, that changed things up. And then they got right into attacking this New England team. Jack McGlynn coming in for an injured Martinez, I thought really helped them on that left side as more of an attacking presence. And you saw him get the first assist and also be involved in the second goal as well. So they did a good job to switch things up once they got the red card and really attack this New England team, a team that was decimated not only by injuries but also by the red card.
Right, so the Union scored 3 goals, but they didn't give up any, which is huge because this is their first clean sheet since the end of March. So defensively, what really did start to click?
They just maintained their focus. They had little moments where things broke down, but they stuck together as a unit and made sure that they were covering for one another. I thought that they did a good job on Carlos Hill, making things difficult for him, making him really have to work to get people open and to get things going for that Rev side. I thought just overall they maintained a lot better discipline on the defensive side of the ball.
So we had Daniel Gazdag score, Julian Carranza also scored. What did you make of those goals?
I mean, it was a good thing to have them connected. I think they play much closer to each other. You see a lot of people, and the 3 of them being in a box in most of the goals, they score against New England. So it's something we need to do a little bit more and more, when the game goes, especially when you play away. But at home, every time they are close to each other, you can see the connection between them, and you can see the run of each other. And for Daniel Gazdag, getting 2 goals against this goal is great, for his confidence to keep scoring. He was our highest scorer, this season for the team. But he's always kind of here in the right place at the right time. He's maybe not the craziest goal, but he knows exactly where he needs to put himself. He finished in the box. It's what we want, from him as well, to help Ura and Carranza. And so far, he's doing a great job, so hopefully he keeps going.
Right, and we know this season is a long one. There's ebbs and flows every single year, and the Union were kind of on a little bit of a downswing heading into New England. How do they make sure, what are the building blocks from this past game to help them get back up into an upward trajectory?
I think them getting the shutout was really important. I think that that's something that they've really been lacking, is the defensive mentality and making sure that they get the 0 on the one end. We know that this is a team that can score goals. We've seen them score multi-goal games now a couple times, even though they've lost those games at times. I think that Leon Flock is finding his rhythm again after being injured for a long stretch of time. I thought that was somebody that the Union can now rely on if they have some absences over the summer.
Speaking of the goal scoring in this one, let's break down that goal that put the Union in front for good on this week's Play of the Week presented by Subaru. Seba is over at the video monitor to go over Julian Carranza's goal. Seba, what do you have for us?
Thank you, Marisa. I got your magic pointer, so I'm going to use it a little bit on this one. But let's play, first on this goal. So you can see a little good pressure from Ura, the goalkeeper, who doesn't have a lot of opportunities. Wagner winning the first ball to the feet of Jack McGlynn, and you see a lot of space. He's taking it. He find a perfect ball to Carranza, who just have to put his head to score the goal. But what I want to point to this goal from Carranza, you can see the pressure, and you can see the numbers of the Union being up the field. And when you pause right here on the first one, you see there is already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players of the Union, into the half of the New England side. It's usually when the team is always, the most efficient, is to press, winning the ball in their half. It was a great header from, Kai Wagner finding the feet of Jack McGlynn, who is not attacked. The defense of New England is not really in the right position so far. You see Ura coming back. So if you keep playing, on this opportunity, and you pause right here, it was just before, but you can see Jack McGlynn had his head up. He saw the call of Carranza in the second, post. And right now, just the talent of Jack McGlynn makes the difference with his left foot. If you keep playing, he finds the perfect curve ball into the space, into the run Carranza. And as you say, as a forward, it's the ball you want to receive from your midfielder. And it was a fourth assist from Jack McLean, the sixth goal of Carranza. But it's the strength of the Union, playing high the field, winning the first ball, winning the second ball, and with the space, with Jack McLean coming to the game, finds the perfect ball with his left foot to the back post and Carranza, and he gives the lead after 38 minutes into this game.
Thank you, Professor Letou. We've got more Union Insider for you in a bit, but here's your Union trivia question presented by United Concordia. What team do the Union have the most wins against in club history? Find out the answer later in the show. Welcome back to Union Insider presented by Independence Blue Cross. This past weekend, the first team picked up a solid 3-0 win over New England, but the Baby Snakes also had an equally impressive time. At the MLS Next Flex tournament, both the U15 and U16 teams clinched a playoff spot in the MLS Next playoffs. But a playoff spot isn't their only goal. Sage Hurley has more on this week's Union Roundup presented by Green Mountain Energy.
What's up, Union fans? I'm Sage Hurley here at the club's campus in Chester for another edition of Union Roundup. This time, we're talking Baby Snakes. Last weekend was a successful one for the Philadelphia Union Academy as all three teams clinched spots in the 2024 MLS Next Cup playoffs. Let's start with the eldest crew, the U17s, who secured their postseason appearance with a 3-0 win over Charlotte FC on Sunday afternoon. Henry Bernstein led the way with 2 free kick goals, while Jameer Johnson rounded out the scoring. The two-time defending Generation Adidas Cup champions are 9-2-2 in league play this season and own one of the top goal differentials in all of MLS Next. The other two teams got their spots through MLS Next Fest in Maryland, which is one of the league's 3 major tournaments. This one, though, was vital, especially for the U15s, who needed to win it all to make it to the postseason, and that's exactly what they did. Under the direction of head coach Henry Apollo, the squad fought through difficult conditions to make sure they earned a playoff berth. The rain couldn't stop the Baby Snakes as they grabbed a 2-1 win over Intercontinental FA to sweep their group. They began their journey to the postseason with a resounding 5-0 win over FC United, then a 2-0 win over Tampa Bay United one day later. As for the U16s, they stole the show with a perfect performance at MLS Next Fest, scoring 8 goals and collecting back-to-back-to-back shutouts to set the tone. Using their experience gained during their European journey earlier this spring, the U16s began their tournament run with a 4-0 win over Tampa Bay United. 24 hours later, they were back on the pitch for another victory, taking down FC Bay Area Surf by a 2-0 margin. They completed the sweep with another 2-0 win in the group finale, taking down FC Westchester. All three teams punched their tickets to MLS Next playoffs, and they'll head to Nashville, Tennessee to test their skills in a competitive tournament from June 15th to the 23rd, featuring the best 32 teams in each age group in the country. That's all for this week's edition of Union Roundup. We'll see you next time.
Well, we love talking about the success of the Union Academy, but it's time to get back to talking about the first team. The Union are on the road for their second straight match, this time a tilt with Charlotte FC. So it's time for these guys over here to hand over their keys to the game, presented by Subaru. Seba, your key.
So, we saw it on the goal we just described. I would need the team to start winning more the ball, in the side of the opponent, which is Charlotte. Every time we push the block, we press a little bit more, it's always easier, for the team to get quick opportunities and find, the 3 forwards. So I would love to see the Union maybe, in some of the time of the game, start pressing a little bit higher, winning the ball or reacting, as soon as they lose it, to win it back and try to create some opportunities. I think it's one of the strengths of the team. You see them, I think sometimes playing a bit too low and not having, a lot of space to kind of develop their attack. But when we are higher up the field, I think it's always very important for the team to push numbers, like we say, having Kai Wagner, Nathan Ariel, being high, winning the first ball, and we have, the midfielder right here to get the second balls. I don't think Charlotte is the best defense. I think they have some flow, especially like building up out of the back if they try to do it. So if we can be here, to win the ball, I think it can be a good thing for the team. And again, it's on turf, the same type of field as they play against New England. So it's going to be some weird bounce. It's going to be, a bit fast if they wait it. So if the team can really take advantage of this, having, playing just a week ago on turf, I think it's a good thing to get back at it and do the same thing over there.
Right, that high press has become such a forefront of the Union's identity over the years. So kind of revving that up a little bit too. How about you, Sheanon?
My key to the game this week is going to be to utilize the wide areas. We saw 2 goals come off of crosses last week. Can they do that again? Can Nate Harriel and Kai Wagner on the left-hand side get forward? They do a good job of making sure that they have numbers in the box. And then with those numbers, we're seeing them pop up in good spots. We saw Carranza in good spots. We saw Daniel Gazdag find 2 good spots in the box to tap in 2 goals. So if they can utilize those wide areas, Charlotte's a team that struggles to defend crosses. I think they can take advantage of them on the wide spots.
We're coming up on a break for Union Insider, but when we return, we'll talk about a Union player that has stepped up admirably in the absence of a club legend. We'll be back after this. Time for this week's Chick-fil-A Nugget of the Week. With their goals against the Revolution, Daniel Gazdag and Julian Carranza scored in the same match for the 16th time, setting a new MLS record for most goals in the same match by a pair of teammates. That's so cute. Well, this past weekend, the Union not only broke a losing streak, but they also got their first road clean sheet of the season and the first clean sheet in the MLS career of Oliver Zemla, who takes the spotlight in this week's player profile presented by Subaru. Zemla was acquired via transfer from Louisville SC in USL on January 31st of this year. Zemla has stepped into the team nicely and has been called up in 11 matches, including 9 starts for the injured Andre Blake. The German is no stranger to winning either. The former Marshall standout helped lead the team to a thundering college national championship in 2020. So, what do you think of the job he's done stepping in for Andre Blake? Because we know Andre Blake has big shoes to fill in goal. How has he made a name for himself?
Personally, I think he did pretty well. I don't think, in any goals he got a score against. Maybe there is 1 or 2 he could have done better, but all the rest of the goal, he got against was usually a bomb, to stop, or something he can really do because the defense didn't do a good job. So I think he made some good save as well, especially like on the last game against New England. Right after we score, there's a big opportunity from Vrioni, who he made a big save, and another one at the end of the half. I think really, shows that he can make a good save to keep the game on for the team. And I think, like you say, being the backup of Andre Blake, it's not easy, to kind of like come in, make a big influence into the game, and be here for the team. And I think he's been pretty good. I love, how he plays with his feet. I don't think, him being in too much pressure. He knows exactly what he has to do, and he's pretty confident. So it's great to see, and it's usually what we needed, to know that if Andre is out, who is going to take his position and who can keep the team, winning. And so far, he's been pretty good for the team. So it's great to have him, and hopefully, he keep helping the team getting points.
Right. I think it's been important too that he doesn't try to beat Andre Blake. He just has to be the best version of himself. And Sheanon, as a defender, what is it about how Zemla plays that would make you want to play in front of him?
It's just his confidence in goal. He always seems like he knows what's going on. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve jumping from the USL. I think the run of games has really helped him, but now you're starting to see a confident Zemla in goal behind this defense, and hopefully they can continue to roll out the shutouts and help him get that experience that he needs to make the jump to the next level.
So it was a busy weekend in MLS, so let's take a look at some other big moments in this week's Around the League presented by Torque. In a rivalry week showdown in Colorado, the Rapids were looking to wrap up a big 3-2 road win late in Salt Lake, but RSL had other plans. Goals by Chicho Arango in the 85th minute and Andres Gomez in the 88th minute put RSL up 4-3. And Anderson Julio put on the finishing touches in stoppage time as RSL stormed back for a 5-3 win over the Rapids. And speaking of rivalry week, NYCFC hosted the New York Red Bulls in the first edition of this year's Hudson Derby. Munsif Bakar scored the goal in the 64th minute to put NYCFC up 2-1 over the Red Bulls, and they'd hold on to that score for a home win over their rivals at Citi Field. When Union Insider returns, Seba and Sheanon will give us their players to watch for Saturday's match as the Union faces off against Charlotte FC. We'll be right back after this. Here's the answer to this week's Union trivia question presented by United Concordia. The Union have 24 wins all time against the New England Revolution, which is the most amount of wins they have against any single club in their history. All right, welcome back to Union Insider presented by Independence Blue Cross, and we're wrapping things up here on the show, which means it's time for Players to Watch presented by Allstate. Seba, who you keep an eye on down in Charlotte?
I'm going to keep an eye on Leon Flack for that game. I think, with the injury of Martinez, I'm not sure he's going to be maybe back for that game. So I think Leon Flack is going to step as a holding midfielder for the team. We all know he just came back from an injury, but already got 2-3 games under his belt. He's maybe getting closer to be full, 100% to his capacity, and we're going to need a good Leon Flack into this game. Being able to do the dirty work, winning those balls and just giving to the next midfielder or to the forward. I think he has done a pretty good job, when he stepped in as a holding midfielder against New England. I think he's probably confident as well about where he fits, physically out of his game, and you can see probably another good performance from Leon Flack, and we're going to need him to be, very good again to get a win in Charlotte.
All right, Sheanon, for you.
I'm going to go with Jack McGlynn. I think that this is a player that's growing in confidence. He has got 4 assists, 2 goals. You're starting to see him put it all together, get that end product in. I know he was good last year, but I think he's even taken another step this year, really pushing to be on that flight to Paris for the Olympics. And he's done it all. He's had the crossing, he's had the shots from distance. That's something that we didn't see as much from him last year. So looking for him to have another good game down in Charlotte. That left foot has been great this year.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see that Jack McGlynn has become a player that you can almost really count on each and every week, not someone who sparks here and there, but he's been so consistent so far this season. That's going to do it for this one. The Union, as we said, back on the road this weekend. They travel down to Bank of America Stadium where they'll take on Charlotte FC on Saturday. This one's at 7:30 p.m. can be seen on MLS Season Pass, and Seba will be alongside Dave Leno on the radio call on 97.5 The Fanatic. For Sheanon and Seba, I'm Marisa Pilla. We'll see you next week.